And it having its own gravity?
Oh, that was my question. So it has its own gravity, which, okay, that makes sense, because it would. But why did it pick up all the stuff, and then when it stopped moving, drop all the stuff?
Would it lose its gravity if it stopped moving?
Why would it?
I don't know. Wouldn't we lose our gravity if we stopped spinning?
No.
I feel like we would.
Why?
I'm no expert because I thought it depended on motion.
I mean, it does, but not like that.
We were doing science class.
The moon isn't spinning. It has gravity.
We're all in constant motion right now. The sun spins. Is the moon not spinning around the Earth?
The moon is orbiting the Earth. It doesn't spin.
Like there's.
You ever
motion.
notice that the same face of the moon's always facing the Earth?
It's the man in the moon.
Yeah, the moon's not spinning. It
Okay,
still has
so
gravity.
yeah, no, I didn't think it was spinning, but it is in motion.
It is in motion, but you don't have to be.
And maybe we're spinning at a point where we're just not seeing the spin.
So everything's in motion, but like in motion relative to what is the question?
Well, I'm not worried about that part of it.
Well, that's the entire part of it. Motion has to be relative to something.
No, but I'm trying to think of why the gravity would turn off, unless it was a.
Oh, it wouldn't is the answer. It wouldn't.
It wouldn't? Are you? See, I don't know enough to be able to.
Well, something that big can't like have gravity and then just suddenly not have gravity anymore because it landed.
Tell that to the Klingons.
What did the Klingons do?
Well, when somebody destroyed their gravity and they lost their counselor.
That was artificial gravity. That's different.
So maybe this was artificial gravity.
But it wasn't internal. It was, yeah. The answer is nothing about that made sense.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah. Also, it would have destroyed everything as soon as it entered the atmosphere. But that's
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like that gravity should have been problematic right from the beginning. Of the moon.
The gravity is not the problem. The problem is when something of that size bashes into the Earth's atmosphere, it would compress all the air and turn everything under it into a massive fiery shock wave that would disintegrate everything in its path. That thing, that size, landing on Earth would destroy everything on Earth. Like that's just, you couldn't do that.
Ask the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs.
You can't. They're dead because something a fraction of that size landed on Earth. Now, granted, it wasn't going super fast, but it would still compress all that air. Like there's still stuff that it's squeezing underneath and has to go somewhere. Like you'll notice that like there wasn't even wind. Like there should have been like like everything under when it I have a hard time describing things like that.
You know what we need to do?
Make more whooshing sounds?
We need to make a small movie about that.
I feel like we don't have the special effects budget. You know what the small movie would be? A spacecraft that long, that big, just kind of whooshing down into the Earth's atmosphere and landing. It would look like us being like, hey, there's a ship approaching, and then just dying instantly, a fiery wind-propelled death.
Yeah, so would you make 10 minutes?
I don't think it would last 10 minutes. We would just blow something up and be like, that's the movie. It would be very short. It would be very short. But, and I'm gonna pull out a big but here. I don't think that it's appropriate to criticize the physics in a movie like this because of course none of it makes sense. It's not supposed to make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. So I have to stop myself and say, no, it's not supposed to make sense. It's okay for a spaceship the size of the moon to clip the moon and it'd be fine. The moon be fine. The moon's fine. Nothing happened to the moon. The moon's fine. And it's okay for a giant spaceship the size of the moon to land on the Atlantic Ocean and have like the boats in the Atlantic Ocean still be fine. Like they're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, that
it's
boat
fine.
that's right there, that threw me off too. Like, what
Like
the hell?
the guys from Norway. Do you think they got their money? I kind of hope they got their money.
100 million. Yeah.
I kind of hope they got their money.
Yeah, tell them to do it for 100 million. Deal. What?
Yeah, they're doing good. If they survive, they shouldn't have survived. Everything
Well,
everything
apparently,
should just
according
be
to you,
dead.
none of us should have survived.
No, we wouldn't have survived that. Nothing about that is survivable.
Cockroaches?
I don't even think cockroaches could survive that. Because what happens when you compress and explode a cockroach at the same time and add fire and
Can we try that?
No, I don't think we can. I don't think you're allowed to destroy living things on YouTube.
It's special effects, folk.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
I
Like I
trust our
said,
audience. You hear that?
Yes.
I said it's special effects, folk,
folks.
not folks.
Yeah, because there's just the one. We have the one audience member. But again, like I said, it doesn't matter. I need to stop obsessing over it. What else do you have?